Hi dudes, I'm Brooke, and I've been out of high school for 11 years now. So while most people I interact with are adults who've grown out of their mean girl phase, every once in a while I'll come across somebody who's still a weird little mean girl. And there's a difference between somebody who's mean in general and somebody who's a mean girl. Mean people are equal opportunity assholes in that they're typically just rude to everybody, but a mean girl is usually someone who's just a bully to other women, particularly in a way that's subtle enough so that she can gaslight you and say that the meanness that you're perceiving is actually just you being crazy and that she's actually not mean at all. And while a lot of people these days will call a woman who acts like this a pick-me, I think there's a subtle difference here. A mean girl acts mean due to her own insecurities, to either put somebody down that makes her feel threatened, or to make herself look cool in front of others, whereas a pick-me is specifically a male-centered woman, aka the opposite of a girl's girl. Somebody who's typically your friend, but the second that they're around men, they use you as the butt of the joke. Or somebody who makes a point to put down what they perceive as feminine because they're not like other girls. And while some of these mean girls are probably also pick-me's, that's not the point of today's video. That being said, let me know if you guys want a dedicated video about pick-me's as well. Just pearly things alone has certainly given us enough content for it. Now that we've gotten that difference out of the way, let's get into it. Something I really like about this day and age is that at least it seems like it isn't cool to be a bully anymore. And as I said, I haven't been in high school in a billion years, so maybe it's different in school, but at least online, it seems like the culture has shifted from like popular girls are the mean girls, and if you say anything back, you're just gonna be treated even worse, to now it's embarrassing and pathetic to be a bully. Everybody has an understanding now that people who act like that are doing it because they're projecting the way they feel about themselves, and that it's like objectively cringe. Like I saw this video of a girl doing a get ready with me, and it has since been deleted, but she's responding to somebody saying that she was mean in high school, and it seems like she still is.
I was a mean girl in high school. Let's talk about it. There was a comment someone made, and it basically said something to the effect of, I'm so glad to see that I'm still the same mean girl that she was in high school. This comment is so silly goose.
I hate that so fucking much. I had to pause and reflect as to why it pissed me off so bad the first time I watched this. First of all, just the immediate dismissal of what this person said is so rude when you're the one who chose to address it. Also, the patronizing, it's so silly goose, is so telling. Like, if you used to be mean in high school and you've since grown up and changed, that is 100% allowed. That's growth, and that's what we're all hoping for. But if that was the case, you'd be so sad to see that you still come off as mean and would address this earnestly. And maybe you would look inward to see why people think you are still mean.
It made me just start reminiscing about high school. I went to high school over 4 years ago, so it's really been a minute. It's kind of crazy to me that someone like even still cares about that.
Yeah, dude, if somebody was bullied in high school, that's gonna stick with them. Even if you were just kind of a bitch and you came up on their For You page still being a bitch, I can see how they'd be like, wow, that's disappointing. So to be like, who cares about high school? What the fuck? When you still clearly have a high school mentality is crazy.
I wish I could ask them like what they mean by that, because I wasn't like outwardly mean to just like anyone I went to school with. I was definitely mean to people that like did me dirty or that like, were rude to me or something. I don't know. I didn't really care about people when I was in high school. I'm just busy doing my own thing and dealing with my own stuff. I had a lot going on when I was that age. Yeah.
So first of all, she's just fully admitting that she was in fact mean as fuck in high school. Then of course it's the like, I had a lot going on excuse. Like, yeah, dude, so did literally everyone else. High school is a very complicated time for literally everyone. So that doesn't really work as an excuse as to why you didn't really care about anybody.
I really wish that I could have commented or I could have like seen who they were so I would like know more of the story. Basically, my high school life was very strange. I was pretty smart, like I am pretty smart. So I was in a lot of the like higher academic classes, but I wasn't friends with any of the kids in those classes. So I always felt kind of like out of the loop. Yeah, I never just got along with any of those kids, and they never really like made an effort to hang out with me. Plus, I also have really bad RBF, so that might have had something to do with it. And I can be very like outward spoken, like I'm pretty extroverted. And sometimes I say things before I can think them through, so just chill in my hair. I definitely see why people would think I was mean, but I really wasn't mean unless you were like rude to me.
I love the separating herself from the other kids in the AP classes. She's like, I'm smart, but I'm not a fucking nerd like the rest of these losers, so I didn't talk to them. Like, girl, you were in the same classes as them. You're a nerd too, babe.
But yeah, like I said, I was in high school over 4 years ago, and I was in the COVID class, so I wasn't even going to school, like, probably for a month before our school closed because I was doing my own thing. I've traveled a lot in the past 4 years. I've met a lot of different people, been in a lot of different places, and learned a lot of life lessons. So I don't really think about high school anymore. And if you're still focused on me in high school, then you clearly have no purpose in my life, because you would definitely have a different opinion if you like actually knew me. If you're still someone who's like focused on high school and it's been almost 5 years, y'all must be chronically online and need to like get a life. Go travel, go meet people, go talk to people, go make money, y'all.
Have you considered making money and traveling? If I had heard just this sentence alone out of her mouth without the rest of the video, I would have already been like, oh, you're the most out of touch person on this earth. Like, you're mad that I bullied you? Why don't you just go to Bali about it or something? As a matter of fact, have you considered getting your fucking bag up before you speak to me in the first place? Dude, the amount of times that I've been living paycheck to paycheck, stressed about rent, and somebody would be like, oh, you're learning French, you should go to Paris. The best practice is like to immerse yourself. Like, oh, I hadn't considered that. Let me check my couch cushions and see if there's a spare 15 grand in there. Fuck you.
But I do have a hot take on this. I think bullying is something that has to happen when you're young, something from like an evolutionary or like biological standpoint. And I've always thought this way, and I will probably continue to think this way. If you're someone who's being bullied, you kind of like to learn to stick up for yourself, or like learn to have more confidence in yourself.
Oh, okay. Well, then why are your comments off? If bullying is necessary and if you can't handle it, you aren't confident, you should probably keep them on so everybody can help boost your confidence and help you evolve, as per your own theory.
Bullying in America, or like the Mean Girls of America, bruh, it's really not that bad. Y'all ever seen K-dramas? Y'all know what happens in other countries, what bullies are like. American teenagers have gotten so soft these days because of social media. Literally anything offends people and makes people be like, I am being bullied.
I'm actually kind of living for her calling herself so smart, but then also basing her knowledge of other countries' high school experiences on TV shows. Like, how close was your high school experience to Twin Peaks? Also, not to be too serious, but it's so fucking out of touch to say that bullying in America is not a big deal when we're unfortunately known worldwide for having so many school shootings. Now, is that more a bullying problem than it is a gun problem? Of course not. There is no gun violence if you get rid of the fucking guns. But it is still a stupid fucking thing to say.
I feel like if you are being bullied, it's going to help you grow up and be a stronger person, a heavier foot in life because of your experience. Unless you dwell on it for 4 years after high school, then that's just kind of sad.
Just actively showing that she's still a fucking bully. What's sad is being a mean girl on the internet and thinking you're clocking somebody when you're really just showing your ass and proving their point.
And then if you are someone that's bullying people, you never know what's going on in someone's life. Don't take it too personally. If someone's bullying you, they probably have something going on. Honestly, those people probably have some things that they need to work on themselves. Maybe that's all they know. But it's going to teach them too how to treat people. A lot of people that are bullies do end up having like higher social growth in life. I feel like there's some psychological backing to this stuff. I mean, I'm not saying like go out and be mean to people. It's just something that naturally happens and that kind of has to happen. It's giving like evolution theories. It's giving biological things. But if you're still dwelling on that from 5 years ago,
it's giving evolution is so crazy. Also, to say that there must be some psychological backing to the idea that bullies have some higher social growth in life is such a bizarre way to cope with the fact that you're getting called out for being a bully. Like, you're not beating the mean girl allegations, you're actively confirming them. She goes on for a while after this to say that she doesn't give a shit about anybody from high school, but I will spare you from hearing the rest. But mean girls aren't just something you encounter in school. They're everywhere, waiting to make fun of you for breathing. This next TikToker posted this video, for example.
Usually the line is like, literally that girl saw me filming and blasted her horn in my ear. Like, what was the purpose of that? Like, I don't know why people have to be so mean.
Like, what are you getting out of making fun of somebody else? Literally, what is the fucking point? She's just minding her business and she gets made fun of for it. This is another example of that, although way more overt.
What?
If you couldn't hear it, that girl says, "You have blush blindness." Basically saying that the girl filming herself is blind to how bad her blush looks to the rest of the world. Like, what a crazy thing to say to anybody, but especially a stranger. I understand teasing your friends in the name of love or making sure they don't go out looking crazy, but to just tell a stranger in the mall that you don't like their makeup because they do it differently than you would is crazy. Right? Isn't it crazy? Now I will admit that my brows were a little crazy that day, but we can't all grow eyebrows, you guys, all right? We can't all grow eyebrows. What's complicated though is that not every mean girl is this overt. A lot of them are your friends and they're really nice most of the time, but then they'll say little things that feel like digs and it makes you feel crazy for being upset about it. It's like these subtle comments or situations over and over and it makes you feel like, are you my friend or do you fucking hate me? This TikToker Gemma summed it up really well.
These are the type of mean girls you find in real life. First is the chill girl. Chill girl is just so chill and relaxed. If you're in a social situation, she'll be sure to point out how loud you're being, and you just need to chill out. She might consider herself a nerd or a tomboy, so she might make fun of you for enjoying makeup because she could never be into that sort of thing. Next is the nice girl. Nice girl is sugary sweet on the surface, but she says things that make you feel a little bit excluded or out of the ordinary. Kind of similar, the next mean girl is the friend to all. The friend to all is super nice to everyone they meet. You'll meet this girl and she'll make you feel so special, but as soon as you turn your back, she's talking about you. The next mean girl is the social climber. This girl will only be nice to you if she needs something from you. If you're in a group setting and she doesn't see any value from you, she will ignore you the whole time, never ask you a single question about yourself. But as soon as you have something that they want, they are going to act like your bestest friend in the entire world. The last mean girl to look out for is your fake friend. She's fueled by jealousy. They usually have a glass half empty attitude about anything in your life. Like you got a new boyfriend, maybe you're his rebound. Or wow, you got 90 on a test, but what was that 10% you got wrong? When something goes bad in your life, they're definitely going to be there for you, but it kind of feels like it's because they want to relish in your failures.
Sometimes, however, it is pretty overt, and you know damn well that bitch hates you, which to me, I almost prefer, because at least you don't have to try to explain the 1,000 tiny things that they did or said to somebody else to explain why you think that they don't like you. Like, if you don't fuck with me, at least say it with your chest and just be mean to me to my face so I know where I stand. It's still shitty, but at least it's not fucking fake. And speaking of fake, I hate to do this, but a lot of you might be fake feminists because you're not subscribed. As you guys know, we are actively in competition to beat Mr. Beast by my birthday, which is February 9th, so we do still have about, 2 months, a little bit of time to beat Mr. Beast's subscriber count by my birthday. So I believe we can do it in the name of feminism. So go ahead and obviously subscribe if you're not already. And if you are, thank you. #SharksBiteBeasts for feminism. Thanks, guys. Anyway, if you're wondering how this type of behavior would come off if it were less fake and more apparent, it would come off a little something like this.
I gave you my heart, and the very next day, you tore it apart. Is that how it goes? Is that how it goes? Something like that. Well, let's get
I'm not into the happy, laughy stuff. Ain't shit funny.
Like, girl, they weren't even talking to you. Low-key, that's how I feel sometimes, though. Like, God forbid people try to enjoy their time at work a tiny bit. They're trying to kill me. Is that Mr. Beast? It does low-key scare me that someone with an attitude like that is in healthcare, but maybe that's why she's saying nothing's funny. Maybe the real tea is that while her coworkers are misremembering the lyrics to Last Christmas, there's a patient that needs help, and they're too busy being happy, laughy. I guess we'll never know. And sometimes these mean girls even go off and start their own businesses. One of those businesses is allegedly Kaima Cosmetics. In August, the business owner of Kaima Cosmetics, Gemma, took to Instagram to complain because she was so upset that she'd gotten low Trustpilot reviews. It's important to note that she had a pretty large following on Instagram, and she'd actually asked that following to go positively review her on Trustpilot to basically bump her back up, which, of course, is not cool and defeats the purpose of websites like Trustpilot, where consumers are supposed to be able to get unfiltered feedback about the legitimacy of a brand. So a few days after she had asked people to review her brand positively, she basically came back on and said she was so stoked because her Trustpilot was now at a 4.4 due to her followers' review bombing. So another creator, Ella, who is a makeup content creator, thought the same thing that I was thinking. I'll let Ella explain what she said and what transpired after that.
And I commented and said, is that really the right way? Like, I think I said something with, so you basically were begging for good reviews because someone shared their experience on this platform and you're not adulting enough to accept this or to work with this, something like that. Then 5 minutes later, Karma Cosmetic messaged me and said, "Hey Ella, can I please ask where I didn't take that criticism because your comment was really mean?" And I was like, okay, cool. So I gave her a little bit of feedback, said that Trustpilot is for customers to share their experience and that it's just not okay to beg for good reviews, especially when you that way encourage people who never have ordered maybe from your website to leave a review for you. So then it came something like, "Oh yeah, you're such a good person. I love you, LOL." And then it was like, "Think of me when everything starts to go so wrong for you." And I'm like, what the fuck? I wrote her, "Honey, you're a brand owner." Very provocative, I know. "This is not Disney Channel." And then this conversation here happened. So basically, she then wrote, "LMFAO, you are a nobody and look awful. It's always people that look like you. Have the best day. Sort your scabby skin out, fatty. Post that to all your 1,000 followers." And then Cosmetics, they even posted an apology. But that is just getting even worse because in that fake apology here, all that the whole time basically do is this has truly spoiled Gemma's family holiday. And it was at the end, of course, a staff member who did this. According to some like business records that you can see online, some people sent me this, they only have 2 employees. Her, like Gemma, the owner, and then somebody else. So basically, she blamed that one employee that she has. By the way, my name is down here. We totally apologize to Ella on behalf of the company. That's it. That's all I got after being so heavy body shaved and shit. First of all, I am still blocked by Kaiwa Cosmetics. I unblocked them. So because I thought, okay, let's see the post. Maybe I can do a comment there. And I'm blocked. So I can't even see their fake apology. I don't buy anything that is in there. That is just not true. I don't buy what is there. And the best thing that completely sent me was the ending down here. "Regards, Gemma's dad." So you're a 37-year-old woman with a grown, super cool business online. You went viral years ago. Have, by the way, an article online from 2022 where I say, "I was so bullied in high school, but I'm such a strong person now. I believe in so much positivity." Blah, 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 blah. And then you let your dad come on. The only thing that I really have to say here is if someone really sent her death threats, which is in that fake apology also, that's not okay. That is just crossing the line. You cannot fight hate with more hate. That's just dumb.
Can you imagine being a grown-ass woman with a business and using your business account to speak to somebody this way? I have a feeling that Gemma took to Ella's DMs because she was trying to intimidate her, and when that didn't work, she got extremely nasty and threw a fit. Like, girl, the criticism wasn't even that bad. If you were really that pressed about Ella calling you out for asking for positive Trustpilot reviews, you could have just deleted her comment. That would still be really shady and weird, but better than bullying her in the DMs. Plus, it doesn't seem like she's above shady and weird business tactics anyway. So, I do unfortunately have to disagree with the girl earlier who said that it's giving psychology and evolution, or whatever, that bullies have the most social growth. Because somebody who has had the most social growth probably wouldn't have done this in the first place, let alone had their dad write this fake ass me ass apology. Also, hear me out, but I fucking hate when somebody gets called out for doing something objectively really shitty online, and they're so quick to play the victim and throw in the "I'm getting death threats now" card. Like, listen, I shouldn't even have to say this because duh, but I don't condone anybody harassing anybody online, and certainly not sending death threats. But also, everybody who so much as breathes on the internet is getting death threats in their DMs. You're not special because you happened to do more to earn yours. It just feels like, why did you tell people I was mean to you? Now people are being mean to me. Like, yeah, dude, that's the consequences of your own actions. You did that when you called someone a fatty in your DMs. Also, what are you, a 12-year-old in a COD lobby? You don't get to go through life trampling all over everybody who bothers you, and then when somebody has the guts to say something, sob about how now people don't fuck with you anymore. You did the shit that caused that. Ella didn't spread a rumor, she just showed real DM screenshots. And if that was some employee that sent them, which I don't personally believe for a second, then name and shame, dude. To change the subject a bit, I think that as women, it's really common for a lot of us to grow up being less than perfect friends or peers to those around us. especially other girls and women. The way that girls are treated in society affects us from a very young age before we're able to process it. And as young girls, we're also dealing with very complicated hormones, the peak of our insecurities, and we're all learning social cues together. So it's not surprising to me that middle school and high school girls are often really mean to one another. That doesn't excuse being a bully at that age, but kids are assholes to one another. What does surprise me is grown women who didn't grow out of that. Because I think a lot of times these young mean girls might not even realize that they're being mean. They're just acting out of speaking before they think and selfishness. But once you're out of high school and you start your actual adult life, and you're able to spend time with people that you choose to spend time with instead of just whoever goes to your school, there's no excuse for being a bully like this. And if you are still in school, just remember that the things that are extremely important to you right now will not matter once you graduate. I know for some of you that sounds like a lifetime, but I promise life gets better and better the farther out of school you get. And just remember that nobody around you has a fully developed brain yet, so pay those fuckers no mind. Alright guys, I'm gonna call it right there. For more videos, check out my second channel, brookesharks Bites, where I post beauty and lifestyle content. A lot of you guys comment asking if I have a makeup or hair tutorial, and I do on my second channel. You can also follow me on Instagram and TikTok, and you can join my Patreon. I post some extras over there, and I also have a Patreon exclusive Discord. Don't forget to beat the shit out of the like button and murder the subscribe button, and if you're feeling crazy, you can bully the bell. I'll see you soon with another video.